to the Total You. I am your hostess, Evangelist Maurice Wallace, and we're under the direction of Abundant Faith Cathedral, and the bishop is Joel T. Wallace. Remember, the show is the Total You, and we're about the whole process of who you are and how to relate in the community, all right? So today we're going to be talking about something that's very important, and that's our credit reports, right?
Yes.
Credit scores. Now, my guest is
Nicole Machini.
Nicole Machini, and she's with Second Start Financial Incorporated.
Yes.
Now, I want to read this. She says, yes, you can be debt-free. You never have to accept that when the unexpected plunges you into a financial hardship, it means the end of your dreams. Keep going. You never have to accept that the first step toward a brighter financial future is too big to take. She says, take that step now, create your own second start, and get out of debt faster and more affordably than you have ever dreamed possible. This is what she's all about. So I want you to give us a history before you started this.
So I joke around and I say that I'm born, baptized, and raised in real estate. My mom and dad have been into real estate for, over 50 years now. Sorry, over 40 years now.
Okay.
I'm aging myself.
Okay.
And so I grew up in the industry. I grew up in the business. And I am born in Detroit.
Okay.
I have been in real estate and mortgages all of my life.
Okay.
I was living in California for 17 years. In 2006, we moved to California with my family. And I'm a single mother. And I could not afford to get a home for my child. And that's all I wanted to do.
Okay.
So we moved back to Michigan in 2021.
Okay.
Thus, I was able to buy a home. It's
Okay.
just not, it wasn't affordable for me in
All right.
California, and I needed to go back to my roots.
Okay. Ooh, 2021, wasn't that at the basis of all the pandemic and everything, and you moved back in? Oh, my
yes,
goodness.
it was difficult, but exciting at the same time. It was a new start for me.
And I'm going to say this, wasn't it that when housing was really affordable back here then because of the pandemic, wasn't it?
Well, I want to say housing is more affordable in Michigan compared to a lot of parts of the United States.
Okay.
Michigan is full of opportunity. We have so many fantastic, job opportunities here.
Okay.
And we've got so many people here that are creating job opportunity.
Okay.
Lots of factories opening up, and it's creating a lot of housing.
And people are able to afford it?
Yes, people are able to afford it if they plan for it.
Okay.
And that's partly why we're here, and that's why I came up with Second Start Financial, my partner and I, because we saw a missing link.
Okay.
People want to buy a house.
Okay.
People have the income and the employment to buy a home. However, their credit isn't where it needs to be.
Okay. Now, forgive me because I'm going to jumpstart to something else. I just finished reading where a lot of people, we go and say, I want credit for such and such. But we don't really realize that with that credit comes an interest rate.
Yes.
And people don't figure that in on their credit. Okay, I'm asking for a loan for such and such to pay off this. Mm-hmm. And then they don't realize that interest is also accumulating.
Yes.
And that's added on to what they took the loan out for.
Yes.
So it's like, and that hurts a lot of people.
Yes. A big problem with credit is a lot of people don't understand how does credit work.
Okay.
So we find that there are two major problems.
Okay.
Either people have too much credit.
Okay.
Or too much credit in collections.
Okay.
Or they don't have enough credit.
Okay.
And a lot of times people feel that, let me pay cash. It's better than having too much credit. No, that's not always the case either.
Okay.
You do need to have credit established.
Okay.
And yes, we need to make our payments on time. However, what we don't realize is that credit is kind of like a metabolism at the same time.
Okay.
Sometimes multiple payments, just as they say, if you eat multiple times in a day, it stimulates your metabolism. Well, if you can make several payments on your credit cards in a month, that also stimulates your credit scores.
Oh, it makes it go up higher?
It can.
Oh, okay.
It can.
Okay, so instead of just making the minimal payment, if you go above that,
Yes.
okay, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions because, okay, most cards are due on a certain date.
Yes.
And they don't do the billing cycle until after that. So if you make a payment before the next billing cycle, that will help your credit rating?
So you actually brought up something very, 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 something that everybody should be aware of.
Okay.
And that is the billing cycle date.
Okay.
When I am coaching my clients on how to turn their credit around quickly, the first thing I tell everybody is call and find out, what is your billing cycle? What day of the month do they report? Because yes, we do want to have our payments made on time. However, you are right. If we can make multiple payments
Okay.
towards the principal balance in hopes of paying it down or paying it off, this is what's going to give us the ultimate scores.
Okay.
And
Oof.
along with that,
Okay.
what you were mentioning before about the interest rate accumulating and things like that.
Okay.
Something else that people don't realize is that if you're only making your minimum payment each month on your credit cards, you will never get it paid off.
Right.
You have got to spend wisely. You have to spend on your credit card knowing that you need to pay off that credit card. Don't open additional credit cards, rack them up, and only make the minimum payment each month. It's not a good or healthy way to live. And if our end goal is to buy a home, we have to be well aware of where our scores are and where our credit is.
Okay. And with that credit thing, okay, the credit scoring, a lot of people don't realize what percentage of debt they have to the amount of income they have. Am I correct?
Correct. I have a great rule of thumb for everybody. I tell everybody, if you can balance and make sure you've got at least 3 trade lines reporting on your credit report, you're going to be in good shape.
Okay.
A lot of people think that because they have insurance payments, that does not report on your credit report.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have credit cards, a very wise thing to do, so if people are fearful of getting too much in debt or getting underwater, go get a prepaid credit card.
Okay, prepaid credit card.
A prepaid credit card we can either get online or we can get it at one of our banks. And the prepaid credit card works like this. You are going to put up so much money. And then you're allowed that spending amount. So for example, I'm going to apply for a prepaid credit card for $500. I'm going to put forth $500 first. And then I'm going to have a credit line for $500. The bank usually scores really good with prepaid credit cards because they have that money already secure. It's less risk than a fresh credit card. So people normally get 10 points right off the bat just for opening a new prepaid credit card. And if you work on it, I tell everybody, at very minimum, charge your gas, pay off your gas a couple days later. Charge your gas, pay off your gas a couple days later. This will ensure
that
your scores will be pretty good.
They've got this thing, and I know I'm harping on the credit because this is to me, they've got this thing where they call it Experian Boost.
Yes.
Is that good?
Experian Boost is actually fantastic. But what a lot of people don't realize is it's only affecting Experian, which still helps. Because when we want to buy a home, it's taking the middle FICO score, the average FICO score.
You're going to go into that later. Go ahead.
But it is a good thing. It does help. What it does is it adds on some of our utility bills.
Like
so
the TV thing that we have, what do you call it, Amazon things, and those are added into there, or like Comcast payments and stuff like that.
It's more like Comcast payments, our electric bill, our water bill.
Those are then counted because otherwise they wouldn't be counted on our credit scores.
Correct.
So what kind of things can we use to put into to make something scored?
So, credit cards.
Okay, the credit card.
Car payments.
Car payments, okay.
They're starting now with some rentals. If we rent,
Okay.
a few rental agencies, there is something new that came aboard, and I believe I read that Fannie Mae is now starting to allow,
Oh,
if you're making your rental payments on time, there is a way to have it added onto your credit report, and I believe Fannie Mae is now recognizing this.
and that helps your credit score.
Yes.
If you're making your payments.
Yes. The biggest thing that everybody needs to do and realize, open either an Experian, go to TransUnion, go to Equifax. You can pull a free credit report on yourself.
Yes.
Get an idea of where you are and where you stand.
Okay. I'm all over the place,
No
okay?
problem.
So please forgive me.
No problem.
The free credit report, I thought that was only once a year.
Yes, it is. But don't forget, each bureau allows it.
Oh, okay.
you
So
can
actually do it 3 times
Yes.
a year, but if you
Yes.
do a pull on Experian at the first part of the year, and what's the other one? TransUnion at the end, then you got one in the middle you can use also.
If I can make a suggestion for everybody,
Okay.
my suggestion is go to Credit Karma, for example.
Okay.
One of these free credit reporting.
Okay.
It is considered a soft pull.
Okay.
You will get an idea of where you stand. So,
Okay.
for example, if we see that we have collections, what we want to do is start there.
Okay.
We want to call all of our creditors and we want to find out what day of the month do they report to the credit bureaus.
Okay.
Why is this appointment important?
Okay.
We know which to pay off first.
Okay.
We know what order to pay off.
Okay.
Because let's say we're working on a budget
Okay.
and we only have an extra $100 to work with. It would make more sense to pay off the credit bureau, the creditor that's reporting first, so we know that we're not late.
Okay. Okay.
Because even though we all know that it's due the first of each month, that's not always the case.
That's the date that they're not reporting. Oh,
And most of us are always working on a budget. So we have to make a plan.
Okay.
We have to identify what money can we afford to put aside to pay down our collections
Okay.
and pay down our debt. And so by knowing what day of the month that it's reporting, that gives us an idea of which to pay off first.
Okay. And I've always heard that you want to go for the one that's charging the least, the highest amount of interest, but that's not necessarily true.
You want to pay them all off.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you know.
We want to pay them all down and pay them all off.
But what you're adding to it is the mix of that date that they report.
Yes. Because what I'm saying is, if we're working on a budget and we're told that we've got $400 in payments, but we only have an extra $100 a month, well, we're not going to make those dates on the first of each month.
Right.
So it makes more sense for us to realize and to be aware of what day of the month each one of our credit cards are due,
Okay.
so we can make sure they're paid before they're
that
considered
date.
late. Yes.
And you get charged more, and then you have to pay more interest on. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's the real other important thing is that we don't want any more lates on our credit report.
Thank you.
This is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Our credit report, people feel that if our credit is quote unquote bad, which I've seen everything under the sun, everything is fixable.
Okay.
Our credit report is like a wound,
Okay.
and all wounds heal with time,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
All wounds heal with time. As long as we figure out what's the problem,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Then we need to address the problem
Okay.
and heal the problem.
Okay.
Once we do this, time will heal all of our credit.
Okay.
And what people don't realize is if we have negative credit, we need to offset the negative credit with good credit.
Okay.
And that will help balance out also.
Oh, God help me. Okay, I like the analogy of the wound healing. And like you're saying, it's like a person stopping a bleed. They have to
Yes.
they have to go in and stop it. And the only place to stop it is at the, very beginning, at the top of it?
Well, we're obviously bleeding because
Yes.
we're not in the beginning. We're in deep.
Yes.
We've got a deep wound. We need to pull a soft pull on ourselves. We don't want to do a hard pull. We want to do a soft pull on ourselves so we can find out what is making us bleed.
Okay.
Where is the real problem?
Okay.
A lot of us have collections that we don't even know are in collections.
All right.
I also have a mortgage company and I'm a realtor too.
Okay.
And 9 out of 10 times when we pull people's credit, because they say, I've saved up my down payment, I'm ready to move forward, let's get started, and we pull their credit, and they had no idea that they have so many collections.
Okay.
And they're small collections.
Okay.
But even the small collections can hurt.
Okay. What exactly then is a soft pull?
So a soft pull is from a company, for example, Credit Karma.
Okay.
Myself, I have a mortgage company also. I'm eMortgage Financial, a branch of it. And we can do a soft pull also where it's not considered a hard hit on the credit report.
Okay.
There are other banks also that can do a soft pull.
Okay.
So what I suggest to everybody is, if you are working on looking for a mortgage and you are unsure of yourself, either A, pull a Credit Karma or something similar, or an Experian.
That's free to you. Okay.
Yes. Or ask the bank beforehand, before they pull you, if they have a soft pull.
Okay. And that doesn't go against your credit.
Correct. It's not considered a hard hit.
I've learned when I was at the conference with you guys, I learned it, and I didn't know this. There were difference between a hard pull and a soft pull. And the hard pull was an automotive.
Oh, everybody needs to be very careful when they go shop for a car.
Okay.
You have to be sure, write it down, and make sure that somebody signs it acknowledging that you do not agree for your credit to be pulled 20 times.
Oh, my goodness.
This is horrific
Okay.
to people. People think that they're shopping for a car and they are being sold and told that, oh, we're just going to check your credit. But what happens is, especially when we have touchy credit, is the car companies, they're not being malicious. They're not doing something. I mean, for the most part, I know a lot of car salesmen, and they've got great hearts.
Okay.
And what they're really doing is they're trying to shop for the best rates for you.
Okay.
But by shopping for the best rates for you, what they're doing is they also have 50 lenders. They're submitting you to 50 lenders, and each one of those lenders has to pull you.
Oh, my goodness.
So what you want to do is, again, pull a soft pull on yourself, or Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. Pull your own credit report so you have an idea of where your scores are before you even go in.
Oh, my goodness. And so this makes your collection worse when you have all of these pulls on your credit.
Yes.
Okay. Collections. What exactly are they, and how do you say get rid of them?
So I'm glad that you brought this up, because this is how my partner and I came up with Second Start Financial.
Okay.
So first, my brother has a wonderful debt settlement company, and he gave us the opportunity to open a branch here in Michigan.
Okay.
We saw a huge need for this.
Okay.
It is an endless cycle once you are so far in debt and you have so many collections. How do you get out? How do you breathe?
Okay.
If you have, $1,000 worth of rolling collections a month and you can't pay that monthly payment, what do we do?
Okay.
Versus leaving the collections there, and then eventually the creditors are going to take you to court, put a judgment against you, which makes everything worse.
Worse, yes.
We need to get in front of it.
Okay.
What my company does is they will sit with you, identify the problems that we have, and we will work on settling the debt. And we do shoot for about 50%.
Okay.
But the bigger part about everything is we work on consolidating into one payment.
Okay.
That you can afford.
Okay. So you make the agreement between all the collection people?
We take all of the pressure and stress off of you.
Okay. So exactly. Okay. I'm going to say, do we pay for this? How does that work for us?
So it is
Sorry.
No worries. I don't want to say it's completely free, but there are fees that do go into it. But these fees are fees that are going into you starting your own, what we call it is kind of an escrow account.
Okay.
So that we can collaborate all of your debt and work on getting into one comfortable payment for you.
Okay.
Are you paying fees out of pocket to us, up front? No.
Okay.
We do everything we can to work with you and to make it a comfortable, affordable situation for you.
Ooh,
Our goal is to help you get out of
get
debt,
out of it.
not create a bigger problem.
Okay, my thing is though, most people say, "Oh, I'm getting my debt is going down, it's going down," and then what do? They go back out.
Oh God, this is a huge problem.
Yes.
You have to be serious and you have to be aware. And if you want help, there is help.
Okay.
But you have to be committed to it.
Okay.
What we do not just for ourselves, we do for our children, we do for our future, we do for our grandchildren. And the biggest thing we can do now is A, educate ourselves,
Okay.
B, be aware, and C, execute.
Okay.
We have to be leaders. We have to be examples for our children, and not just our children, but for, the young and the youth in our life. We have to be examples.
Show them by example.
Exactly. I'm living proof.
Okay.
I left California and moved back to Michigan so I could afford to buy a home.
Okay.
That's what was important to me, is to have a home to give to my child.
And because you're making that sacrifice and you're making that sacrifice and you're showing him, okay, this is what we have to do in order to get this house for you, for us. And you're doing it. And so that's what we want. Okay. We've got this person. This person is not quite committed. How do you get them to get committed?
It's, as the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Okay.
We are here to provide the resources.
Okay.
If somebody's end goal is to get out of debt, we're here to help you get out of debt.
Okay.
If somebody's end goal is to buy a home, we're here to help you buy a home.
Okay.
Whether it be now, whether it be 30 days from now, whether it be 3 months from now, whether it be 3 years from now.
Okay.
We're here and we're helping to provide the resources to help people get there.
Okay, you made a good point. Like I said, most people, it's going down, my credit's going down, my credit's getting up, it's better, better, better. And yet they're not committed to this. I'm thinking, how long are we saying?
It depends on how far into debt we are.
Okay.
It's an easy fix. I have turned some of my clients' credit report around in 45 days.
Okay.
I bumped scores over 45 points in 45 days.
Okay.
Just by being aware of, number one, again, what day of the month do we report?
Okay.
B, we need to identify how much money can we put aside to be committed to turning our credit around.
Okay.
So the first thing everybody has to do is make a plan.
Uh-oh, that's it.
Make a plan. Write down our goals.
Thank you.
So that we can execute our goals and we can mark off our checklist.
Okay. And I'm going to say this, a lot of people are not really good at making budgets.
But again, there's resources and there are people there to help. As I said, at Second Start Financial, we're committed to helping you. We go through your debt with you.
Okay.
We identify everything with you. We make a plan with you.
Okay.
And, it's very easy to say, oh, I can afford, $300 a month. But when the paperwork is in front of us and we see that you can only afford $200 a month, well, we're going to readjust things so we can be within your budget.
Okay.
We need to set realistic goals.
Okay. You're saying we said it. Okay, I'm going to ask now. You said, do they have schools or classes to help with this?
Our agents are all educated agents.
Okay.
And they are dedicated to coaching. I guess that's a good word.
Okay.
To coaching and educating the public.
Okay,
So if somebody needs help, all they have to do is call in, reach out to us.
Okay.
And we will set time aside to spend with them and go through everything with them.
And they must be committed to doing this. It's not you doing the work for them.
It's not us that lose.
Thank you.
You lose yourself if you don't stick to your own goals.
See? And you're in the end game is what? You're going to make sure that their goal of getting that home
or getting out of debt.
Getting out of debt is something
is achievable.
Yes. They don't have to, like you said, you don't have to accept that those unexpected financial plunges will put your dreams on hold.
Yes.
You do have dreams and you can obtain them. And I like this. We're going to create the Second Star Financial Incorporated. And you are, say again,
Nicole Machini.
Nicole Machini of Second Star Financial Incorporated. And she's going to be, her name And address is going to be at the bottom of the page, the scenarios after the screen. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Okay. It's going to be there, and you can be able to get in touch with her. And like you said, you've been in the business for 30?
Over 25 years.
Amen. So
I am going to be 48 in a few months. Oh, and my dad put me to work in the office when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
And I was taking the real estate class
Okay.
when I was waiting to turn 18 to take the real estate test for the first time.
Okay.
And I took it 9 times over the course of 5 years before I passed in Michigan. But I eventually did it.
And see, and because you're so in tune with what's going on, you're able to see that the need was not just the people being able to afford the, payments for the mortgages, but setting themselves up to be what? Good or?
A good position to buy.
Yes.
The state of Michigan has done a fantastic job in supplying support with the banks and giving grant money for people to help them get a grant for a down payment to buy a home.
Okay.
But what people don't realize is that you can't have collections. And so we saw a huge need in being able to assist people in getting out of collections versus just being turned away brokenhearted saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay off these collections. I'll never own a home. No, you can.
Okay.
It's part of making a plan and making a goal.
And that's what you're about. Okay. I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit down.
That's what you need to do. Go home.
Go ahead.
And make a plan for yourself.
Okay. And
pull your own credit report on yourself and see where you stand.
Okay, now you said this, like we said, was free. And if I figure out and I make all these calls to all these people who I owe, and I get this, will they give it to me? I mean...
Definitely. I tell everybody, call your creditors yourself first.
Okay.
See if you can make a plan with them.
Okay.
Or see if you can get on, a payment plan with them.
Okay.
Try yourself.
Okay.
Debt settlement is only good if we're well over $10,000 in debt.
Okay.
Something else I should point out. A lot of us have co-signed for our kids.
Oh, my goodness.
Or relatives on cars.
Okay.
And those cars get repossessed. Or the cars fall very, very far behind.
Okay.
People think that because they co-signed, it's not going to hurt them in buying a house or hurting their credit. Wrong.
Okay.
It definitely will.
Okay.
It completely hurts you so badly. But our debt settlement company can also assist if your car has been repossessed.
And get you off of that co-sign. Beware.
Yes.
Do not co-sign for anyone because we don't know what and they may be your family.
But at the same time, how do we say we can't help, our kids and our family members? So it's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22. We want to help who we love. And what? One thing that is super important for us to do is to stop beating ourselves up over what has already happened.
Okay.
The only thing that should be affected in our life now is what do we do next?
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there because this is really getting interesting. We want to go through those grants later on. So she's going to be coming right back and we're going to do a second portion of this. Remember, you're watching the Total You, and my guest is
Nicole Machini.
Nicole Mazzini. I don't pronounce it right. That's why she's saying it. And Second Star Financial. So please stay tuned for the second part of the Second Star Financial Incorporated. And I hope to see you again soon on the Total You. Your hostess, Evangelist Faris Wallace. Amen. See you soon. Okay?